wrestler based out of Dallas, Texas, but originally from León, Guanajuato, Mexico. And I just wanted to let you all know that you're listening and watching Dudes at Ringside podcast hosted by Metal Geek and Joe Panther Jr. So, guys, click like, share it, and I will see y'all on the flip side. Enjoy it.
Hello there, wrestling fans. To episode 105, right, Geek? Episode 105 of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I am your host, Joe the Panther the Third, and now introducing to the mic from the top of Metal Mountain all the way down to all 50 states in the globe. It's that random sewing facility where they make all the lucha masks. It's the Happy Heel himself from a radio, little PS broken radio in this corner sewing those masks. It's the Happy Heel himself, the Metal Geek.
What's going on, Ringside Crew? What's going on internationally? No, what's going on, everybody? What's going on, Joe? How's it going today?
Not too much. We up to 202 now in followers on Twitch. What? 202. Hello. She made it. Yeah. Okay, Kiki, you ready to introduce this awesome individual? Want me to do it?
Okay. If you want to start, you can start right now. Yeah, let's go.
Okay. What did you want to do? What do you want to talk about first?
I don't know. Introduce him.
Okay. Wrestling fans from all over the world, let's give a war. Dudes at Ringside, welcome to Oski the Mayan Warrior.
God.
Welcome, Oski.
Thank you. Such a great introduction. Appreciate it. How y'all doing tonight?
Pretty good. If our fans aren't familiar with you, Oski, introduce yourself.
Of course. Like you said, I'm Oski, the Mayan Warrior. I am a Mexican luchador from originally from León, Guanajuato, Mexico, but I've lived in Dallas, Texas for the last 32 years. So other than that, I've been in this wonderful industry of professional wrestling for 21 years already. I've traveled from East Coast to West Coast, all over the big majority part of the United States, Canada, big majority of Mexico, and I definitely have enjoyed this 21-year journey. As a matter of fact, I just had my 21st anniversary this past August. So wow. Definitely has been a journey, and I've enjoyed it. I'm gonna, I'll continue enjoying it, and I just appreciate you guys, the invitation, the opportunity to be a guest in your podcast, be able to talk to your audience, and have an opportunity, for them to know who Oski the Mayan Warrior is.
That's awesome.
By the way, don't mind me. I'm drinking my Topo Chico.
Oh, go ahead.
You sell that at my job, Key Food.
Hey, by the way, that is a Coke product. So thank you for supporting my company, by the way.
Oh, okay. So there you go. Hey,
I work for Coca-Cola.
Not that I want some sponsorship now, okay?
There you go. It's like if you would love to sponsor, if you would love Coca-Cola to sponsor you, then there you go. Show it off. There you go. They might be watching, so you never know.
I'm gonna keep doing this.
Random, like, they may make a mask for you. Have like their logo coming up the sides of the mask.
Topo Chico right there in the corner, right?
Hey, let's make it happen. Let's do it.
Like when they have the football helmets, they have the logo on the side of the helmet, whatever. Like
Oski the Mayan Warrior, now sponsored by Coca-Cola.
There you go. Hey, it has a good ring to it, so I'm all for that.
Red mask with the Coca-Cola polar bears on each side.
Yeah, the Christmas edition.
Oh, geez, dang. Oh, there.
I think I should just take a picture and just send it out. See if it gets anywhere.
Hey, you never know. You never know.
You never
And,
know, exactly.
So
the brand is always out there.
yeah. So who sponsored? Who? Wow, you got me. Fuck me. Let the word sponsor. No, no, no. Who trained you, Oski?
Well, initially when I broke into the business, Rodney Mack and Jazz
Wow.
broke.
Two big names we want to get on our podcast eventually.
We want Jazz so bad. Jazz is a legend.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, and to this day, they're still my mentors. As a matter of fact, I actually am on an exclusive deal to working with them in their wrestling promotion, Dog Pound Championship Wrestling, which is based out of San Antonio. And I'm one of their original. Well, I'm actually part of the first class, one of the first graduates from the Dog Pound Dojo, and we're talking about back in 2000, around 2001 when I graduated from their dojo, and they're the ones that literally kicked me off into this wonderful industry. From there, I went from learning not only from them, but I went to Atlanta to a big promotion out there, training dojo. No longer in existence, but it was a major competition for one of the major companies in the country and in the world. That's all I'm gonna say. And then after that, I went to Mexico. And trained under several old school luchadores from my hometown. And I mean, and then about 6-7 years ago, I was blessed, and to say the least, to be not only be my godfather, but also took me under his wing, has trained me, Blue Demon Jr. So definitely, I have the credentials. I have the know-how, to say the least. But definitely, if it hadn't been for Rodney Mack and Jazz, Oski would not be here right now. So
yeah, definitely.
And thanking to Miss Jazz, as we said before, if you can get a line to Jazz, we did get an opening for the 22nd.
That's what we're talking to the great Oski here, Joe. What are you doing?
Sure.
What are you doing? He's the legend right here, right?
Yeah.
I'll be your plug.
21 years and right here in the business, right here.
21 years. That's amazing, man. Because being a luchador, being in the business for 20, you said 22 years. That's hard because all the jumping around. Me and my dad were talking about that like a few days ago, saying like the way cruiserweights are, like back when we knew, like in WCW days, those boys didn't play. They jumped around like jumping beans. They were going always jumping around.
Yeah. I will tell you. Well, since you brought it up, I was in that company. Back around when all the cruiserweights were around. I was actually trained in the power plants.
Wow.
So I actually experienced it, saw it firsthand. That's one of the reasons why my initial first leg of my trip was being a major cruiserweight, trained under various teachers down in the power plant. And being a cruiserweight back then, it was just one of the things that they immediately pushed, especially someone my size, and with the ability or the intention of them understanding that they're trying to groom new talents. So I wouldn't say that. I mean, for the first couple of years of my career, I did a lot of the crazy stunts that cruiserweights were expected to see. The high flying, the acrobatics. I was doing all sorts of crazy things that at my age now you wouldn't catch me doing anymore. And that is one of the reasons why I have to attribute the good mentorship that I got initially from initially starting my career, even up to the point to where when Blue Demon started to also mentoring me. That in this, it's not a race that we are in this industry. It's a slow paced marathon. You got to take, there's going to be times where you're going to have to slow down in order to be able to last in this industry, because as we all know, there's no set tomorrow for anyone in this business. There's no guarantee. So definitely I have to attribute a lot to my mentors that coached me and had me understand that sometimes you gotta just slow down and look at where you're at, what season of your career you're in, and sometimes keeping your feet grounded, it's a lot safer than being out in the flipping around.
Yeah.
All right. We actually have a question for you. How many masks do you currently have? The one on you is absolutely beautiful. I love the bright colors.
Oh, well, thank you. This is actually a mask that I had. It was actually it's an actual gear. It's part of my one of my gears that I used 5 years. I want to say about 6 years ago. We had an event here in Dallas called Taco Libre. And that was one of the highlights of my career, because I actually got to tag with my mentor, with Blue Demon Jr. So I made them, so the mask itself are, to honor his colors, and in the back, actually, I have his emblem, his design. So, but to answer that question, I have about 105 complete outfits. So that's masks and the entire gear. So I have quite a bit of plastic bins holding a lot of history for that. Lasted me for 21 years.
105 is really a good number, because you are the 105th episode, if you think about it that way.
He is.
So it was meant to happen.
It was meant to happen right there.
Imagine, I can imagine you must have to use Lysol on a lot of those masks so they keep in, so they don't get hard and stuff like that in the closet or around your room and stuff like that. Probably.
There's some tricks to the trade that I learned from people from, for instance, like Rey Mysterio. I've learned tricks like from him, tricks of the trade from Blue Demon, that I've had, to how to maintain, our gear, especially for us, luchadors that wear masks. We sweat on, with these. I mean, whenever once we're done, I'm gonna have to, turn it inside out, let it air dry, spray it, and let it dry, and then, there's there's bags that I've purchased where I'll keep. It keeps the air out, and those, what is called the seal, those seal bags, whatever, how they call them. So I put everything in them, and just air suck all the air out of those bags, and that's how I've kept up all my outfits, and that's why they're still in pretty good condition. I have maybe about 2-3 that are pretty worn out, but that only tells you how much I've used them for throughout these 21 years.
Which is your favorite mask, by the way?
Oof.
That you have?
Well, honestly, this one. I would say this is going to be and I have quite a few, but in my top 5, this is going to be the first one. Yeah, so I got quite a few. So
the one that I've seen the one that you did the promo for us, the one we started the show off with, that one, I like that mask. But the one that's in your new default picture that you just changed your picture to, I love that mask. The
okay,
blue red one, oh, that one's cool.
Yeah.
That's why I asked in the chat that day. I was like, "Do you have any new pictures that you want us to promote the podcast with?" But you must have been so busy, you probably didn't see it. And I was like, "Oh," but I just
who designed your mask, by the way?
I have a guy here. Well, I have two people. I have one in Mexico, and I have one here in Dallas that has been the one here in Dallas has been doing all my outfits, all my gear since day one. His name is Sergio Reyes, and he is also, he used to be a wrestler. So one of the good things is that he used to be a masked wrestler, so he knows how, he knows what it takes to make the right type of mask, the right type of outfit. So definitely, it's one of the guys that I've definitely entrusted. Every time he comes up, I'll just ask him, "Hey, I need a I need new gear," and sometimes I'll give him the colors, and I'll tell him, "Go, do your magic." Sometimes I'll just let him. He'll ask me, "Hey, what are you looking for?" I say, "Just surprise me." But that's how, but that's just the trust that I have, the to know that he does quality work, and and then sometimes there's times where I'll get in touch with the guy in Mexico that for my hometown, and he'll make quality work too, and but definitely Sergio's always been my number one guy.
Wow. So, well, you asked next, Ski.
No, go ahead, Joe, because I asked two questions already. So.
So what was your energy like during your first match?
Oh wow. My energy was all over the place. Just like it is every time I step into the ring. I've always been a firm believer there that my energy should always, a wrestler's energy should always be the same. Doesn't matter if it's your first match or your 105th match. To me, every time I step in, I always go back to that first match, and remember how it felt. To not only hear your music, hear the audience, step through the curtain, get into that, get in the ring. Your energy is just so much, all over the place. But the idea of knowing how to harness it and have it, be intentional, because, even the greatest of them all, has to understand that the energy has to be harnessed, because if not, you lose focus, and if you lose focus, something can happen.
Yeah, completely. The accidents happen,
Absolutely.
Totally.
Yeah, you have anything?
You next. Already asked my question.
Tag him in.
Yeah,
I need the tag. Just like the loot. Oh, that's the other one.
we always get confused with this because I'm like, I could be looking at my calendar.
It's reversed. It's reversed.
It's hilarious.
This way.
You think I'm looking at my room door, but
you have to go like this, Joe. You have to go like this. Do
So Joe, you're right here. You're on this one, and Meadows on this.
Exactly. We're actually also on Spotify, so the Spotify viewers aren't going to understand what we're talking about. So
they never do. They can't see us.
They can't even see us, so they're gonna be able to hear this.
But when we're on Facebook and Twitter, like we are right now, they're like, "Oh yeah,
that's what they're doing."
Joe wears those stupid red glasses that I want to snap. I had a wrestler from California actually say he wants to throw me first. He wants to break my red glasses and then throw me through a table on fire. I'm like,
with tax.
With tax.
Oh well, that's interesting.
Violent. I'm like, I didn't deserve it. I didn't deserve it. You're in Texas. Have you ever heard of a wrestler named Tamaku?
No, I don't believe I have. What city is he out of?
I'm not sure. I know Texas is big. Texas is big. From
Texas. I only know he's a Texas wrestler, and he's like, you guys better come see me if I'm in if you come for WrestleMania. I'm like, we have to get you promised Tamaku that we're gonna come see him, but are you gonna be really wanting to travel or drive all over Texas, ringing every doorbell trying to see if this is Tamaku's house? Ding dong. Is this Tamaku? No. Who is Tamaku? I don't know. Ding dong. Are you Tamaku? No. I'm not gonna be. We're gonna be like. Are we gonna be like the people selling Bibles like in the 90s?
knock on the door.
Are you Tamaku? No. Are you Tamaku? No.
Yeah, no. I mean, the one thing for sure, yes, Texas is such a huge state. We have one of the biggest. I want to say it's one of the biggest numbers of independent wrestlers. that I've traveled pretty much from top to bottom throughout the entire state. There's still little towns that I get booked in that I personally been here 32 years. I've never even heard of. So I mean, I wouldn't pass it. That he's just because I don't know him doesn't mean that
Love him. He's
he doesn't
hilarious.
exist or he's not a wrestler or whatever or what town he possibly is from. But
You ever hear Hurricane Pro or?
Hurricane Pro, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. He mentioned that
He's
a
a
lot.
big
So.
dude too. If you saw him, you're like, damn, he's big. He does like big guy moves, like 1980s wrestlers kind of moves, like the big guy throw you around, scream, power bombs, a lot of clotheslines. That's what
Okay.
Tomahawk does. A lot of
Okay.
screen grunts. Like that. Yeah, that's Tomahawk. There's few wrestlers from the West Coast that we all hope that they come. I'm trying to get to Texas for WrestleMania. Geek keeps saying I'm coming, but I'm like trying.
Hey, Oski's gonna be there probably, right?
Well, it's going to be here. It's going to be in my hometown. So, I mean, there's no, I mean, for me to say, no, I'm not going to be part of it. I mean, it's going to be here. It's going to be in Dallas. Well, it's going to be in Arlington because people say, well, it's going to be in Dallas. Well, I mean, technically, no. Technically, it's going to be in Arlington. That's where Texas Stadium is located, or the Cowboy Stadium is located at. It's in Arlington. But we are 15 minutes, Dallas from Arlington, so about a 15-20 minute drive. So so you can't say, oh, it's still within the Dallas Fort Worth area. So
yeah. So that's kind of like false advertisement. Kind of like what they did for WrestleMania 35 and WrestleMania 29. They said, oh, it's in New York. WrestleMania's in New York.
And then everybody's like, nah, man, that's Jersey.
That's Jersey. That's not New York. That's not New
You
York.
liars.
Yeah, exactly. No, but that's gonna be that's definitely going to. I mean, it's always a great time, for anyone that's in the industry. Come down. I know when they had it here a couple of years back, it was a great way to network, a great way to get your face out there. I've always encouraged the young talents, anytime it's WrestleMania week, if you have the time, you have the opportunity to go, and wherever it may be, go out there, enjoy it. And, you never know who's going, you never know who's watching,
I always tell him that. I always tell him that too. I'm like, dude, you don't know who's going to be there because we're also a young podcast. So you never know. It's like you never know. You can find.
It's not that geek. It's also money. It's not cheap.
It's an investment, is what it is.
That's how you gotta look at it. I mean, this is one of the things that I was told. This is a huge investment you make on yourself. Not only because you're investing in yourself, training, networking, traveling. You're investing yourself in the idea that you're going to lose time with your family. You're losing time with, if you have a real job, there's a lot of things that you have to take into account when you invest in yourself. And again, this is something that I was told when I broke into the business, that, if I'm going to do this, is because this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, or this is the career that I want to do. And don't get me wrong, I have had shoot jobs in the past, but thankfully, within this 21 years, I mean, this has literally been my full time, my profession from day in, day out. Thankfully, because of this, I've been able to not only not have to rely on a shoot job anymore. I have my own businesses. I've been smart with my money. I've been smart with my and invested it and created sources of income where I can be traveling anywhere around the world and still not worry about how to come back and be like, oh, I wish I hope I still have a job, and thankfully, these sources of income have allowed me to employ other people that to give them, a position where, they can do the job for me while I'm doing what I love to do, which is wrestle.
Yeah, like.
But yes, it
So,
is an investment. So I would encourage you. So, come down here and definitely,
we come down. We're gonna definitely try to find you. So my tying question is: so what's your go-to food? What's your favorite food, Oski?
my favorite to go food. Oh man. I mean, I'm very biased to my Mexican food, so I'm definitely going to say Mexican food. Tacos, obviously. I mean, I'm it's on I know. Don't be like, oh, well, you're Mexican, you sure, well, I am biased. I am my within my food. Yes, I am gonna always stick to my Mexican food first, but I'm also very partial to Greek food, Italian.
Italian's my go-to food.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm Puerto Rican. I tend to always bring up my either white rice with the like river of beans.
Yes, I was gonna say Puerto Rican food also. I have one of my
Pepinillo.
business partners. He's Puerto Rican, and he's the one that introduced me to all the fine the fine pastries, the food.
Has he given you the benil with the red rice yet?
Not yet.
Oh, dude, he's not a good friend.
Well, you know
Benil.
what? There's really not a lot of good. Well, there's really not a pick of Puerto Rican restaurants here in Dallas, so it's really hard to be able to find something. But I am hoping that next year, I believe next year I'll be well, and he'll probably go also, but we'll probably be traveling down to Puerto Rico next year. There's a couple of projects in the works, and definitely be traveling out there.
There's a when you go there, definitely remember this benil.
Okay, I'm gonna keep that in mind.
Here you go. Prepare for the ad for the slow motion 80s porn music. It's a pork thigh that the skin is like bacon. So crunchy. And underneath it's all fat. And it's so good.
Well, then definitely I'm gonna have to try it out when we travel out there.
Rice and beans and benil. It's and my thing, you have to drink a champagne cola.
Okay.
Oh, you have to. If they have the Goya version of it, that one's good, but I like the canned champagne cola.
Okay.
It's the metal, I guess. The metal makes it taste better. Right, Geek? Everything makes metal taste better.
He's like, yeah. Yeah. I've always been a firm believer that, to try something once at least, to say, you know what, I've tried it, whether I like it or not, but at least I can say that I tried it, and I'm definitely gonna. And so far, the stuff that I've had from Puerto Rico have not disappointed. So I'm sure that when we go out there next year, and it's I'm sure I'll definitely be enjoying whatever it is that we're gonna eat out there.
That's another place that I would love to take a trip with Geek and go to Puerto Rico and try to find some awesome like luchador show. Right, Geek? Go to Puerto Rico and see go to a luchador show in Puerto Rico.
Mexico, dude.
But Geek, I don't know Spanish. We'd be screwed. You really want to be like lucha? Where's the lucha? They'll be like, lucha.
You'll be surprised how many people out there actually that I've had. I mean, friends that have zero Spanish that have traveled to Mexico, that are colleagues, zero Spanish that have traveled to Mexico, and actually I've been able to make it out there. They stay down there 6 months to a year. They come back, I mean, already speaking some Spanish, conversational wise. And honestly, there's a lot of people down there that, you'll be surprised that they actually can speak, they can actually speak English too. So, so the language is never a barrier. It's just the willingness to go out there and actually just make it happen.
Yeah.
Well, I have a good question for you, Oski. Where did you come up with your logo on your shirt? That is amazing.
The logo on the shirt?
Yeah.
Well, it's actually a good story. Well, real quick story to it. I'm a man of faith. So there's a Bible verse in the book of Isaiah that talks about, God is going to give you, strength. You can high fly, you're gonna, that you can fly as high as eagles. So the logo itself, it symbolizes a cross.
I can see it.
It has the eagle head. I'm kind of looking at the camera.
I can see it.
So
Yeah.
it has the eagle head, has the crown, and it has the bottom of a cross. So basically, it's a cross, but with all three things all in one. So it's the eagle, the crown, and the cross.
Interesting.
Yeah, yeah. So it's it's on every mask that I have. It's like the main thing that I always carry with all my masks, all my gear. But yes. So this is one of the. This actually was a project shirt we were thinking about launching, and actually I'm this is actually the first and only design. This is the first and only shirt that came out of print, and as a matter, and I'm considering it. I'm considering actually putting it out to sell to the public. So
that's awesome. So just let us know. We'll help you promote it.
Yeah, you send us a picture with like how much it is. You can put it in the corner, and it'll just say go to message ask. We'll tag you in it, and you can post it, and then we'll like that. We'll put it in the story and stuff like that.
Much appreciated.
We like helping wrestlers with any way we possibly can. That's why we love when you guys make us the promos, because that only does that gets our name out there,
right?
But we help people know who you guys more are, because last year at this time, we wouldn't even known who Oski the Mayan Warrior was.
Yeah. I mean, last year, I mean, it was just, I mean, it's still, we're still going through crazy times. I mean, last year, I know, everybody took a hit. I mean, I know I did. It was just the idea of trying to get over something that nobody was really prepared for, especially to be able to stay away from something that I love to do, and that's be able to entertain the fans, and go in and get into a ring. And when all of this took all that away from us, or took it away from me, it was just something that you're left in uncertainty. You don't understand what's going to happen, if you're ever going to get back into it. And so yeah, I mean, it's definitely good to have people like y'all that are so open and willing to still to also extend that helping hand, to be able to promote us as wrestlers, as entertainers, to be able to also, and our merchandise, to be able to help us out in that sort of way, to where it's a mutual give.
Yeah, so you're helping us, we're helping you, kind of thing. Except for you appear on our show, and then we're helping you by promote yourself. Exactly. So it's like a mutual thing. I've always told Joe that too.
He always liked, and also, as you see behind you, behind Geek, we have had Magic City from Miami, Florida, sent Geek and I both T-shirts.
There.
And on the other side of him is a female wrestler from London, England. Her name is Alfie. She's from a promotion. It's in England. I mean, we should definitely keep this name in your head for if you ever want to travel to the UK. She's from a promotion called Coventry Pro, which is I call it a small town promotion, but I don't want to insult them, because to me, that Coventry Pro is a small town in England.
Mm-hmm.
So, and she sent us a T-shirt. I sent her a sticker, and she sent us a T-shirt. I was like,
it makes you feel this small.
Yeah, I was like, I wish we had more. And then,
and it's interesting because you mentioned England. I actually was already in talks to travel out there before the pandemic hit. I was in conversations to travel down to England. I was in conversations to travel to Spain. I was in conversations to go back to Canada. and all of those things had to be put on pretty much on a halt, because of this whole thing with the pandemic. So
yeah, it's kind of sad because like me and Geek, since we got really close with the people from Coventry, and me getting close to UK wrestling and AWA, I'm like, Geek, maybe we should try to save our money and maybe go to England. And I made friends with a female wrestler named Shorty,
mhm.
and I'm like, maybe that could work. That'd be kind of cool because I've always wanted to travel across the pond and experience wrestling and experience like the world over in England. Like
Right.
that, everything that goes on over there. Because different time. I mean, Geek was like today. It was like, Joe, if we went to England, would we have to leave at like 9 o'clock at night or 9 o'clock in the morning? You said, right, Geek?
I think either 9 o'clock at night or something, because then it'll be like because the time difference will match up.
Yeah, that's one of the things that you gotta, especially when you're traveling, somewhere else that is completely different time zone. Yes, because one, you're gonna feel that jet lag regardless.
Oh yeah,
but you want to get there. You don't want to get there right in the middle of sometime in the middle of the night, and definitely not even know where you're at. How are you gonna get to your hotel, or so there's some planning to do beforehand. Yeah.
But yeah. The furthest I think I ever went was Israel, which is probably 8-9 hours by plane. Yeah, that's a far plane ride.
Yeah,
I've never really went out of the country. I've only been to Philadelphia. I've been to here in Pennsylvania because I've been here for 15 years. I grew up on Long Island all my life in New York. Have you ever wrestled? You said you wrestled on the East Coast. Have you ever wrestled in New York yet?
Not New York, but I did wrestle in New Jersey. I've wrestled out in Philadelphia. So it's definitely been. Those are the two places that I've actually had a lot of fun traveling out there to actually wrestle out there.
You should definitely look up another promotion that you have to keep in the back of your mind when you're bringing places Oski wants to go. You should definitely check out the promotion Victory Pro Wrestling.
I think I've heard of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They let you run wild with your gimmick too.
Yeah.
They let
nice.
you your gimmick.
Yeah.
All about the gimmick. All about the gimmick.
I might have to check them out. I might have to send them. I have to hit them up and see what's up. Maybe come up with something.
They're on Facebook too. They're on Facebook also.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Facebook. I think they're on everywhere. Facebook, Twitter,
Instagram, Twitter. Yeah.
Yes.
See, that's the beauty of social media now. I mean, you can definitely find anything and anyone.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Their full shows are on YouTube, so you can watch their full shows on YouTube. So
okay, see, even through them,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, the New York Wrestling Connection is a school and it's a wrestling promotion in New York, in Long Island.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just like is in Pennsylvania. You wrestled in Philly. There's one promotion.
Don't forget Cap too.
Cap. Creator Pro Wrestling.
Okay.
They're run by Kurt Hawkins and Brian Myers.
No, you said it wrong. It's Brian Myers.
Brian Myers.
Right.
I mean Zack Ryder.
Not that you're plugging it in.
Yeah.
I don't think Zack Ryder has anything to do with it. I'm thinking maybe he might come, but for appearances.
But he has something to do with the school.
No, I think it's Brian Myers that has stuff to do with the school. So
okay.
So here we go. Funny question: Has a fan ever given you a drawing that they've done of you, or like made like a pop vinyl of you?
Not a pop vinyl, which I wouldn't mind getting one. Hint, whoever's out there that's able to get those done. But definitely I've had drawings. I've had, as a matter of fact, it's one of my bins, but I keep everything that the fans give me. Doesn't matter how big, how small. I have a couple of bins, plastic bins, where I put everything that God willing, when I, getting my new place, I want to have a designated room just for all that stuff that, because I definitely do cherish everything that, the fans give me. is I take I take it very I take it to heart every time someone gifts me something like that. I have a poster, as a matter of fact, that I fan, and it was in Austin, that she gave me. It was her and her son. They had, it was like a collage picture. It was pretty good sized poster of all the shows that they've traveled to go see me. For every picture that they either took of me, either wrestling or with them, taking pictures with them. And it's a pretty cool picture that I have it rolled up and I have it stashed away. But it's one of those things that it really makes you appreciate what the audience, what the fans are all about. And so yes, I definitely I definitely have a couple of those. But yeah, no, the pop vinyls, those still, that's still not in my collection yet. So so definitely I'll keep an eye on one of those out there.
So I mean, I don't know if you watched All Out. Have you watched the pay-per-view All Out or?
You know what? I'll be completely transparent. I don't watch as much as I used to, whether it's WWE or AEW or Ring of Honor. I don't watch it as often as I would like to, or like I used to do. I used to watch it all the time. I used to even have them recorded. Just because of my schedule, because of everything that I got going on. Sometimes I don't have the time to actually sit and actually watch it. But when I do, I definitely I go and just look at it as a fan, not as a wrestler, but as a fan, because I can be very self-critical. I can be very critical of that, but any wrestler is. We're so, not only are we so self-critical of our own work, but sometimes we forget to turn that off when we're actually being we go back to being fans. So but yes, I didn't see the show, but I heard I heard good reviews out of it.
Yeah, I was going to tell Joe, I was telling, me and Joe were watching it together, and his favorite match was the Lucha Brothers versus the Young
Oh
Bucks
my
match.
god, that match was crazy.
I heard. I mean, I saw small clips. I saw small clips of the match, and these guys definitely elevated the tag team division to another level. Every time the Lucha Brothers and and the Young Bucks, every time that they've faced each other, I mean, from what I've always seen, they always do. They always throw everything out. It's like that saying. They throw the house out the window.
Yeah.
And, so it definitely it was a good match from what I heard.
Have they wrestled in PWG before? Or I think they have.
I was offered an opportunity a couple of years back, but because of other commitments that came up, I had a movie that I was part of. It was at that time it actually conflicted with a lot of my wrestling dates, and because I was already I had already signed an agreement and my contract with the actual movie, so I had to cancel a lot of the potential dates that I was gonna be in, and PWG was one of them.
Is you allowed to say what movie it was or no?
Yeah, it was a independent film. It was the theme was a slasher action film, but the writer of the movie, he wrote it with the idea of bringing in the old school lucha libre from like back in the 60s, 70s, like the Blue Demon, old El Santo type movies, and bringing it, giving it a more realistic, up to date kind of touch to it. So it was a film that we filmed a couple of years back, and it was a great experience for me. I mean, never been part of a movie, and to have been able to be casted as the lead for the movie, it was definitely a great experience.
Awesome. That's awesome, dude. Yeah.
Cool. I was just worried because I'm like, I don't want that's why I said, are you allowed to say it? Because I don't want you to be like it being be like pre-production, and then you say the name, and then the producer calls you within the show. What the hell are you doing talking about?
Oh yeah, no, we're yeah. no, we've been done with that. The movie was filmed. We did everything. I mean, it was released. It was released in 2018. Yeah, 17, 18 is when the movie was released.
Oh,
Is it on Hulu or
yeah,
anything?
The what now?
yeah.
Is it on Hulu?
No, no. They actually had it on Amazon.
Oh, okay.
I was
Yeah,
on. So
so
we get.
so Amazon, they had it on the Amazon platform, and
Are you allowed
from
to say the name?
oh yeah, absolutely. It was the name of the movie was called Aztec
Aztec.
versus the Prowler of the Lonely Woods.
Mm.
Aztec
I
versus
know,
the Roman.
big name.
Oh, geez. You got to remember to watch back and write that down on a notepad.
I
When
know
I,
that's why I always cut the title, and I always just say it's Aztec versus the Prowler. That's it.
all
Just look it up
right.
as that after that, and you'll yeah, and you'll find it. Aztec with a K, because a lot of people tend to write it with a C. Well, you're supposed to write it with a C, but this they wrote it with a K. Aztec versus the Prowler. Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool project. I mean, I really, I enjoyed it. It was, we had a lot of people that were part of the project that definitely made it very fun. And again, being in the movie, it's definitely another opportunity, another experience to live, and I definitely wouldn't mind going back and doing something like that again.
What's your opinions on Lucha Underground?
Uh, Lucha Underground was a great project, but I think there was
You're
just
probably glad. You're probably glad you didn't sign up for it now.
well, I'll be
Af-
lying if I said that I didn't. Uh, it was a
I bet.
project that I thought I could have been part of at one point. Uh, but it was just the idea of having a lot of the certain people on my ear that pre-warned me about it, and I'm glad I listened to them, because a lot of my colleagues that were actually part of it, uh, definitely regret being part. They definitely regretted it. So uh, it looked good. It looked good as a series. I think it had a lot of potential, but I don't know. I don't know what else it could have elevated to.
I always told Joe that it should have been a Dark Side of the Ring
I thought
episode.
they had one. You said.
You never know. They might end up doing something like that. I mean,
Because
I tell you what, that series, Dark Side of the it has definitely caught my eye. I mean, it catches a lot. It's caught a lot of the talent, a lot of colleagues' eyes on it. I did watch the first season, I guess, of the Dark Side of the Ring, and I tell you what, they trigger a lot of old memories for me back in the because a lot of things of those I definitely I can recall. Some of them I heard from people that actually were part of them. So definitely it's a good series. I know they have another one going on right now, so I haven't watched it yet. So, but I heard that some of the episodes are pretty good.
and they also are doing, by the way, they're doing a new Lucha Underground under the MLW banner. I don't know if you know that. I think it's
Yes,
called
I
Azteca Underground.
yeah, I heard about that, but hey, I don't know. I have my reservations about that, but hey, I'm not part of the promotion, so to me, it's just like all I can say is good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck whoever signs up for that. That's all I'm
Yeah.
gonna say. Right.
Yeah, I mean, I have a couple of good friends of mine that are actually part of the they're under the MLW banner, and so I don't know. I mean, I heard about it, but I didn't hear anything. I haven't heard anything else about it, so I don't know whether they're going forward with it or they're just they teased it and see what kind of reaction they were gonna get, and maybe it fizzled out and they just forgot, they just opted not to pursue it. Who knows? It's I mean, ultimately, it's a business. If it makes money, then they're probably gonna go with it. If it doesn't make money, well, no harm. They didn't do anything with it.
Yeah, it's hard because these days with different promotions, they want you to do different things with like within your wrestling moves. Like, is there any spot that you're like, nah, I won't do that match. I can't do that for myself.
I mean, for me in 21 years, I've never steered away from a match. I've never I've told the promoter, no, I don't want to do that match. No, I don't want to fight him. Or, I've always been open to work, and that's one of the reasons why I have such a great working relationship with every promotion that I've worked under, because I've never steered away from saying no. Now, will I stand my ground? Yeah, absolutely. If I believe something doesn't make sense, then I'll talk about it. But I won't put my I won't be. I'm not in that. I'm not of that perspective, well, mentality of saying, what, I can't do this because if I don't do, if I'm not doing it, then that's it. Because I ultimately I understand that if I don't do it, somebody else is going to do it, and then I'll be out of a job per se.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
I rather just voice my concern, but ultimately, yes, it is up to me whether I want to do it or not. But when it comes down to wrestling moves, obviously you have to trust you have to trust who you're going to be in a match with. Ultimately you're putting your lives in their hands, which and vice versa. They're putting they're trusting their lives with you in yours.
Too.
So you got to be comfortable. You got to be comfortable to understand that not every move that gets made that can make sense in a match, but you also got to be you have to have that trust and that confidence to say, what, that doesn't work, let's try something different. Not because you're maybe scared, it's just that you don't you're possibly you're probably not 100% confident that you can actually help make that move happen, and you're just not only trying to protect yourself, but you're trying to protect your opponents.
Exactly.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we all have families to go back to, and yes, we're not the same, but we're not the same valet. We're not play fighting. I mean, ultimately, every time we get in the ring, everything is the real deal. And but we also got to be self-conscious that we do have families to go to. They have families that they still also got to feed, and so you got to just be as realistic as it comes. And if it makes sense and you're both comfortable with it, okay. But if not, you can always say no. I don't think that's gonna work.
Not only that, if you say no to it sometimes and you disagree with it, you could screw it up for your opponent too. Say, you know what, we're not going to go with this anymore. We'll move on to somebody else.
Oh, I mean, there's been times where I've worked with there's been times where I've worked with with wrestlers where we're in the back planning, what we're talking about what we're gonna do, and then at the last minute before the match starts, the promoter or the booker or whoever's arranging the matches, comes back and tells us, hey, change of plans. So that changes that changes the entire structure of the entire match. So yeah, I mean, it definitely not only it screws up with the with your opponent, but it screws up it screws your
exactly
our movesets too. So yeah, so it's so it's definitely something that you got to be conscious about.
Yeah.
Joe.
Oh, before our mod's head explodes, do you have any pets?
Do I have any pets?
Yes.
I love pets, but I do not have any pets. Because not because I don't want to. It's just that I don't think it's fair to the animal to I live in a small apartment, and even though I live in a neighborhood where there's pets everywhere, because of because of my busy schedule, I personally do not feel like it would be fair to the animal to keep them, caged up all day long. I'm hardly ever home. Either I'm on the road, traveling, wrestling, or I'm out, doing my other entrepreneurial businesses that I do outside wrestling, and so I'm hardly ever home. So to me, I couldn't even have a goldfish, to be honest with you. So yeah, but I love pets. Don't get me. I love pets, and I hope that one day I can actually have another pet. So but right now it's just kind of just kind of still out there. I'll go to the pet shelters and volunteer every once in a while and help out. And so to me, that's my contribution, to go and help out, and do what I can. It kind of gives me that one-on-one, interaction with pets, and that helps. That helps whenever I'm craving that. Oh, I'm gonna give me a dog. So I'll just go to the pet shelter and then just kind of pet them, help out, whatever they need, I'll do, and I kind of get, it helps with my fix.
Yeah, it's hard because, as you said, like, you're barely home. You don't want the dog to be like get upset and then get like anxiety and then make a mistake in the house and mess up something or rip a couch cushion up
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got to understand. I mean, pets are, they need attention. They need interaction. They need to be, let out. It's just, and it's a huge responsibility. And I mean, I've been a pet, like I said, I've been a pet owner before. Uh, and I know that, I know how huge the responsibility is. And right now, in this point of my life, I wouldn't be able to have that. I cannot have that, on my conscience, to be able to travel and just leave my pet behind and not be able to, and I've had people say, well, you can always, take them to these places where they can watch them for you. But I always tell them, that's still not fair, though, because they're not interacting with their owner; they're interacting with other people, and so it's just. I mean, to me, it's just like I'd rather just not have one, but still be able to help at the pet shelters whenever they need help.
Yeah, like as you said, like there's good ways to see if you can't have a pet, you go to like a volunteer. You could go volunteer and stuff like that. Is there any like can is there any way our fans could go buy any of your merch?
Yes, absolutely. They can either they can go straight to my either my Instagram or my Facebook, and either or, just send me a DM. Let me know. I have shirts, I have masks, I have stickers, I have comic books as well. I have pictures, and as long as they ask me what they looking for, I'll let them know whether I have it or not. Sometimes I can make custom stuff on the fly. So if they let me know, then I can make it happen for them.
Do,
Awesome.
uh, do you have any upcoming matches you want to promote or?
Yes, as actually tomorrow, I'm actually going to be doing a keynote speaking over at the University of Texas in Arlington. I'm going to be speaking on the culture of and tradition of lucha libre, and actually, to me, it's a great. To me, I'm honored, and I'm humbled that such a great university. Uh, Not only are they looking at the culture and tradition that Mexican lucha libre has brought, is such a huge thing, and to be able to be a representative and that advocate and ambassador for to be able to and speak to a good number of students that are interested in learning more about the culture and the tradition of Mexican lucha libre. To me, it's going to be such an amazing opportunity to be able to showcase that to them. So that's happening tomorrow, and then on the 30th, I am actually I'm traveling back to San Antonio. I am going to be with Dog Pound Championship Wrestling. So I'm going to be in San Antonio on the 30th. November 6th, I'm traveling to Arkansas. I'm going to be in Arkansas on the 26th. And then November 27th, I'm going back to San Antonio again for Dog Pound Championship Wrestling. I'm very intentional with the show, with the events that I do now. I don't have a long list of events that I do for every weekend. Not that I couldn't. Is just that because of such a hectic schedule that I have, I do a lot of stuff behind closed doors that I don't share with a lot, out in the public. That has to do with a lot with the industry. But as far as active shows, it has to make sense for me. It has to make sense because I want to make sure that with the shows that I do, it's quality, the quality that I have to put out there for the audience. The audience is there. Every once in a while, I'll make some pop-up appearances at smaller shows or just shows, and just because I like the interaction. I just like to interact with the audience, But as far as me right now, as far as wrestling wise, yes, the 30th I'll be in San Antonio, and the 6th I'll be in Arkansas with ICW, and whatever comes up, from there. Right now I've been so busy with a lot of behind the scenes stuff. Again, what I have to do with the industry. I've been doing all these keynote speaking gigs, and it's definitely keeping me busy. So, but everyone, anytime a promoter calls me up and tells me, "Hey, would you like to work?" We'll make it happen. As a matter of fact, I think now that I'm thinking about it, Austin is on the map. Also, I believe it's either going to be this month or coming up next month. So, I definitely keep all my dates on every platform that I have, from Facebook to Instagram to Twitter. So anytime I'm gonna be somewhere, I update my list.
Yeah, like, okay, I have nothing. I have nothing else to say. But as a grandson of a former luchador, Oski, I say thank you.
Promote that Topo Chico, by the way.
Yes. Yeah,
Topo
right here.
Chico right there. Coca-Cola. Yes. There you go.
Thank you for what you do. And as I always close out the podcast, my grandfather, my cousin Pete Sanchez, my uncle's godfather Frank Martinez, they lit the way so Latino wrestlers like you could take the torch and bring it on further. So thank you for keeping the torch going from my grandfather and my cousin Pete Sanchez and my uncle's godfather, because without the lucha, there would be no fun and excitement in the ring,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I appreciate your words, brother. I mean, definitely donning a mask is such a huge responsibility, and not only because we, as a Mexican wrestler, as a Mexican luchador, first generation, because I don't have I don't come from a line of from a line of a wrestling family. I am the first in my family, and I probably am going to be the last of my family to carry this tradition. I mean, it's an honor. It's a huge responsibility to have this opportunity to be able to be an ambassador and an advocate to such a beautiful culture and beautiful tradition in sport. To have the mentors that I have, to have a living legend like Blue Demon Jr. Teach me what I know now. It's such a to me, it's an honor. It's truly an honor to be able to not only continue this path that people like your family, people like like Blue Demon, his dad,
That's
you
good.
know, every I call, with all due respect,
It's
every
okay.
old school luchador, whether you're from Mexico, whether you're from Puerto Rico, whether you're from anywhere around the world, that
Australia.
you have
Australia,
yeah,
Australia.
exactly. It doesn't matter where you're at, but if you
Canada.
have paved the way for people like me and everyone else that continues to coming up on this wonderful and beautiful industry that is professional wrestling, whether you want to call it professional wrestling, whether you want to call it lucha libre, whether you want to call it puroso, where you want to call it whatever, however you want to call it, if you don a mask as a luchador, it is a tradition. It is a brotherhood. It is it is just something that is one has to not only respect and honor, but carry it in the most high regards. And I appreciate the opportunity that you both have given me to not only talk with y'all, laugh, enjoy this time, but also to have the opportunity to have your platform, your audience, get to know a little bit about my life, a little bit about my career, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Appreciate that.
And as I like to say, this microphone is not just mine and Geeks. It belongs to you guys.
Yeah,
This
as
is
well.
we help promote you, but we give you the microphone so you can tell the stories. We may be the hosts, but you guys are all the storytellers.
Yeah, I got a question. Would you consider El Generico as a luchador, or would you more consider him as a comedy gimmick?
uh,
He wore the mask too. He wore the mask.
no,
in every show.
he amazing human being. He's a he's great wrestler, whether with the mask or without the mask. Now, if we're talking about Generico from UK or from no, that's Ligero. Never mind.
We're talking about
I'm
Canada.
confusing both of these guys. No, but El Generico from yes, absolutely.
El Generico.
Yeah.
From Canada, you know who he is. I don't want to reveal the name because we
know who he is.
He claims he's not around anymore. So
no, when he wrestled under El Generico, definitely he put some good matches. I actually got to be in several shows with him, and now that he is not donning the mask. He's still a great performer, great wrestler. So in my perspective, yes, he wore the mask, the way it should have been. Yes, definitely.
So he is a luchador, El Generico, right? From from Ring of Honor, right?
Yeah, him.
that guy.
That guy. Yeah,
he's going cruiserweight as well. He's like, that guy.
That guy. I'm just making sure that he's considered a cruiserweight luchador, because a lot of people say, no, he's not a luchador. It's a comedy gimmick. I'm like, well, he still wore the mask, you know what I mean? And he wore the cape. So
okay, so I'm gonna clear something up real quick with you guys, because and this is for the audience as well, because I know there's a lot of people out there that believe and that you have to me, I was brought up with the idea of, if you're a luchador because you're a Mexican luchador because you're Mexican. Okay, I get that, but there's Japanese luchadors, there's Australian luchadors, there's
El Desperado.
There's Canadian luchadors. I mean, yes, we as Mexicans, we're the ones that get identified the most because of the idea that the mask itself came from Mexico. And even at that, I mean, if you're really a historian, the mask idea was not even really made in Mexico. It was a promoter from Texas that no, I'm sorry, not Mr. Lutheroth, the founder of Consejo Mundial of Lucha Libre, CMLL, is the original founder, the originator. of lucha libre. And and there's so much history behind this entire behind wrestling. But at the end of the day, whether you want to call it a luchador, whether you want to call it a wrestler, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. We're all in this in the same. We're all the brotherhood of wrestling. And to me, whether you're white, black, yellow, brown, it doesn't matter. If you don the mask, you're a luchador. Just the idea of being a luchador is to be able to honor it, respect the mask, respect the sport, and be able to and hold that tradition to the highest regard. I know there's a lot of people that criticize people that are not Mexicans for wearing a mask. Well, at the end of the day, if they honor it, they respect it the way it's supposed to be respected. To me, they have my respect. Why? Because I was brought up in that manner. That to wear a mask, you have to know that it's a responsibility. It's a high responsibility to wear a mask because it holds a lot of tradition. Whether it's like me, your first time generational wrestler, I still but because of the people that mentor me, that they instilled that tradition into my mindset to respect this mask. And that's the same thing, and that's the same advice that I give everyone that wears a mask. Just respect the mask, respect the tradition. There's a lot of people that have bled, have died, have sacrificed everything to protect this, to protect not only their identities, but to protect the mask, to protect the tradition, and that's all I'm gonna leave it at, because if not, I'm gonna start ranting on other things, and my rants are gonna continue, and it's probably gonna get me canceled.
No, we could talk forever. Me and Joe could talk forever, because I was gonna.
We love talking to wrestlers and we love talking forever, but we both have day jobs.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I respect everyone in the business. I respect all my colleagues, everyone that that chooses to be a masked wrestler, because that to me, that you're a masked wrestler. You want to be a luchador, then definitely learn the history. Learn the history to be to be considered a Mexican luchador. Or you just want to be considered a luchador, just learn the history of what it is to be a luchador. But you want to be a masked wrestler, go right ahead. Go out there, entertain. Do what you got to do. But there's a lot of tradition. There's a lot of history behind someone that when you opt to wear a mask.
Yeah. El Generico's coming back, by the way.
Let him come back. I'll kick his ass again.
Wow,
you fought him before, you have fun?
Well, let's just say it's one of those matches that was never televised or never spoken about.
Wow. Okay, that's awesome. That means a little bit of history and dudes.
Well, there's a lot of history about my career that a lot of people don't know about. And not again, it's not because it's just that I'm not a wrestler. I'm not a luchador or a wrestler that to me, I've never made my career about controversies or dirt. I've always considered everyone a brother or a sister in this business. I've always had good relationships with every single one of them. Yes, there are some bad apples out there that I've bumped heads with, but at the end of the day, we're all human. We all make mistakes. We're and in this business, we're all trying. We're all racing towards that brass ring. Whether it's a major company, a major contract, whatever it is. But everyone, but I've always carried myself with the most to treat everyone the way I want to be treated, and that's with respect. So, and that's whether you're a wrestler, whether you're someone that runs a podcast, whether anyone in the media, no matter what, always because of you guys, because you guys give us this opportunity to open up this platform to allow other people that probably have never heard of me get to know who I am now, and vice versa. Whatever I can do to help you guys out, by all means. That's one of the reasons why my name translates to friend, because Oski it's a native word from in Mexico that translates to friend. So
Oski, we would love you to come back one day on the podcast.
Yes.
You've been awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all.
Well, definitely.
Yeah.
I said we'll keep in touch because next year we want to do a lucha month.
Hey, let's make it happen. Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
I'll get a bunch of my buddies, and we'll start lining them up.
Yeah, man. We'll plan it out. We'll do like I always do calendar. We got to get a new calendar. Got a new calendar.
What month would be Lucha month, Joe?
Yeah.
Hey, you either got May or September, and I would say September.
Okay. September.
Because not only September, because September is we celebrate Mexican Independence Day, and also in September we celebrate Day of the Luchador in Mexico.
So there you go, Joe.
I was thinking April because my birthday's in April, and I could have like the month of April because my
September sounds good though. Next September.
Yeah, we could do a September. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, we do September part 1, and then
Oh God, it'll be like the whole end of the year. We'll have
right, exactly. So yeah. So, but yeah, definitely looking forward to it. I definitely have enjoyed this time with you guys. Thank you again. I appreciate you both for again the invitation. Hope the audience enjoyed it. And again, follow me on Instagram, Facebook. Everything is under Oski.Palomino. Merchandise. Also hit me up there. Send me a DM. Definitely, I be more than happy to help you all out. Everything is done through me. No one else. There's no third parties. There's no you. If you talk to someone, it's gonna be me. No one else.
Wow, that's good to hear.
That's good because nowadays you want to buy a T-shirt with someone, then you have to go to this website. Ooh, I'm not going to say that. It's all
we're not going to say the name though.
Yeah, don't plug it. Don't plug.
Don't plug the name.
Unless it's this.
Yeah,
unless it's Coca-Cola related. Yeah, there you go.
It's some website that takes the money from the wrestler and just gives him 25 cents. Gives him a penny.
Yeah,
it's like, we'll sell your T-shirt, but here, this is all you get is a penny.
I'm a firm believer that if you're gonna do talk to somebody, you got to talk to them directly, and I do all my businesses directly, even with promoters. I don't deal with any. I don't have a representative. I don't have a manager. I do everything by myself. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Talk to my agent. It's okay.
We've had too many wrestlers that are like, yeah, I'll come on your podcast. Talk to Big Johnny over there with the baseball bat. Go behind the door.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. No. Yeah. No. I'm the gatekeeper. I'm the one that opens the door. You do everything through. You want to talk to me. You get me. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much again thanks for coming on, by the way.
No, so thank you. Yes, definitely. And anytime you guys, again, you're more than welcome to hit me up. I am be more than happy to come back and chit chat some more. And again, you guys are doing an amazing job. Thank you again for the invitation. Thank you to your audience for being part of this and for the interaction. And again, follow me on the Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Same handle on all of them, so you don't have to go that far to find me. You'll get me.
Okay, awesome.
Well, later.
Find me on Twitter too. I'm on Joe Panther the Third. Check me out.
Yeah.
On the Twitter. I'm not telling you, Oski, to do that, so you can follow me. Also.
I think I already have you. I think I'm already following you there.
Who plays the right Panther? Because there's a weirdo, that cartoon character that says he's Joe the Panther, and it's kind of like
weird.
That's not me. No,
it's not him at all. So
my picture is me with holding one of the ROH titles. Somebody at a venue had a belt, and I was wearing my fedora, and I had my pea coat on, and I was wearing a Bullet Club shirt, and I had the belt on my shoulder, and I was just like.
I might have to. I think I might have to go back and check it out. See if
hopefully that's me.
Not the wrong Joe the Panther. So
exactly.
The last wrestler got all mad at me.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much again for the invitation. You guys have been awesome. Thank you for Definitely, I've enjoyed the interview, and I've enjoyed kicking it back with y'all while I'm drinking my Topo Chico. And
Coca-Cola, thank you again. Bye.
yes, thank you Coca-Cola for future sponsorship.
Watch, he's gonna get a call now from Twitter.
Hey, I'm ready. I'm ready.
I'll
Let's make it happen.
I'll send them the picture. There you go. That's all.
There you
Later.
Coca-Cola's
We'll
gonna
make-
tweet us because of this episode going, so guys, how much do you want?
Yeah, we'll make it happen.
All right, later.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much again, and definitely we'll catch y'all on the flip side. And y'all have an amazing night.
You
Thank
too.
you again.
All right,
Have a good
bye.
week.
Bye.
That
That was
was
an awesome. That was a fun
was
interview,
fun.
Joe. Right?
Yeah, that was so awesome.
Man,
So, Geek,
can
do you want to say your spiel?
you can donate to us at http://streamlabs.com/dudes at ringside. http://streamlabs.com/dudes at ringside. Joe, take it away.
And with it being October, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. If you would like to donate to my mom's walk, it's called Making Strides. If you want to check it out, go to my Instagram page. The link is in the bio. But Geek, do you have the link now?
You didn't even send it to me.
I did text it to you.
You did not send it, so
Yes, I
whatever.
did.
But anyway, it's you can
If
always
you want
go.
to check it out, Making Strides. The link's in the bio. And make sure you come back this Thursday as we have our friend Sizzling. Well, how do you say your game? Yeah, we'll say our guest is really cool, and make sure you watch it with your mamas. And thank you to my grandfather, my cousin,
Sassy Boatwright.
Sazzy Boatwright. Come hang out with Sazzy Boatwright and watch the show with your mamas. And thank you to my cousin, my uncle, and my grandfather for lighting the way for all Latino wrestlers. See you guys Thursday for Sazzy.